You ever get that feeling you're invisible the moment you step into a place you paid for, like all the rules got rewritten just to remind you where you don't belong? Yeah, that happened to me right up front in the so-called first-class cabin of Apex Air, Miami International, Flight 227, except I wasn't about to let anyone, not a power-hungry flight attendant, not some pearl-clutching investors, not a single passenger in a $1,000 suit, write my story for me. So let me walk you through how a torn ticket turned into a reckoning and why. By the end of it, nobody on that plane could say they didn't see what power really looks like when it keeps quiet and just acts. First off, let me set the scene. Kristen Walsh, in her starched blue uniform and that polite smile they teach at HR, didn't even ask my name, didn't scan my pass. She just looked me up and down, black skin, decent blazer, platinum ticket in hand, and then like she was performing for a crowd, she ripped that boarding pass in half right in front of me. "You're in the wrong section," she snapped. "Try economy, or whatever people like you can actually afford." The cabin went stone, silent papers lowered, pearls clutched, folks pretending they didn't just see what they saw. I didn't argue, just bent down, picked up the pieces, and took my seat in 2A. I kept my mouth shut, but I'd already started shutting their whole system down. You know what I mean? That moment it's like the world splits open, and you get to choose. Do you make a scene, or do you make a statement? I chose silence, but trust me, I wasn't going to let it slide. So, while the plane just sat there on the tarmac, grounded for some routine check, Kristen hovered nearby, arms crossed, smirked like she'd already won. "You think money buys everything?" she murmured, loud enough for me and a couple nosy neighbors to hear. Some of us remember how Vanguard rejected our people. I glanced at her. "You mean Horizon Dynamics?" I said. She stiffened and expected me to know. I always know. Then came Diane Heller from Tuke Private Equity Shark with a taste for champagne and drama, offering to swap seats for my comfort, which really meant get in the back where you belong. I stayed put. Kristen, looking for backup, started messing with my seat controls, disabled the recline, turned off my reading light, kill the call button. "Malfunctioning seat," she announced to no one in particular, safety first. But the vibe shifted. That's when Noah Reed, kid with a camera and a YouTube channel, started filming. "Ma'am, are you disabling this man's seat because it's malfunctioning or because he's black?" he called out. You could feel people reaching for their phones. From the back, Mia Jang went live to 1 million followers, hashtagging the whole thing. Kristen spun, threatening to call security if anyone filmed, her voice cracking, grips slipping. Just then, from the economy section, Isabel Gomez, Vanguard's ethics officer, paused outside the lavatory, locked eyes with me, nodded, and kept walking. Sometimes the quiet ones make the biggest moves. Kristen tried again. "Ticket doesn't scan. System shows void. You're not on the manifest." So I reached into my blazer and handed her my platinum Apex Carmi name, initials engraved. She scoffed. "This doesn't mean anything." Hugh Evan Brooks, my tech assistant, stepping up from the front with a tablet and that subtle VX badge. He handed it over without a word. Kristen rolled her eyes. "What's that, a complaint form?" I just tapped 3 times, tilted the screen. "This is my seat, my flight, and my company." The penny didn't drop. Not yet. But right then, a red-faced man in back starts shouting, "I don't feel safe," waving for the staff. Kristen latched onto it, playing the safety card for the crowd. Not for me. "Sir, we're handling this," she declared, looking at the audience, not the accuser. I finally spoke up, calm as ever. "I've said less than 20 words since I boarded. But if you want to see real disruption, give it 7 minutes." That's when Diane muttered, "Is that a threat?" And Noah whispered, "This plane's about to go viral." Back in the lavatory, Isabel was already sending footage. Kristen's face, Diane's remarks, my pasto, the Apex Air Board, journalists, crisis PR, and yes, my chairman Gregory Holt. Kristen was still clicking through screens, trying to avoid my seat. Tyler Quinn, another attendant, was just nodding along, loyal, nervous, maybe hoping to keep his job. But loyalty to the wrong people goes nowhere. Now for the twist. Diane, thinking no one's watching, slips an envelope bribe, plain and simple, into Kristen's palm. Mia's camera caught it. Noah zoomed in. Suddenly, Kristen's got more to worry about than my invalid seat. Isabel blasts the evidence to the media. Hashtag Apex Air scandal trends in seconds. Evan leans in, we're good to go. NBC just picked it up. I'm still silent, letting the facts do the shouting. Kristen, desperate, tries sweet-talking, offers me water, then accidentally spills in my lap. I look at her, napkin in hand. This plane has a leak worse than that cup. She tries to have me thrown off, calls it security, but she's running out of allies. Tyler claims, system error happens more than you'd think, but I built the system. I knew it was sabotage. And then the passengers turned. This isn't a misunderstanding, it's harassment, said a man in 3A. The woman beside him nods. Off-duty attendant in row 5 starts filming too. Kristen tries to order everyone to stay seated, but it's over. NBC breaks the story, showing her tearing the pass, taking the bribe, and spilling water all while I sit there, silent. Isabel reverses the fake seat cancellation in real time, exposing Tyler's data tampering now a federal crime. Evan reads out, we have logs, captures, timeline. Forwarding to DOJ and FAA. Kristen blames Tyler. He stammers. I tell the cabin, it's interesting how often truth becomes optional when power goes unchecked. Cabin's dead quiet, some filming, some whispering. Diane shrinks in her seat. The captain, now alerted, holds a printed report. CEO Vanguard in 2A. Here's where it gets cinematic. Evan activates the ceiling projector, normally for safety videos. Instead, it flashes the Vanguard logo, then a live feed of the Apex boardroom. Timer starts ticking. Kristen panics. What is this? I say, this is the shareholder meeting. I'm a majority. Silence, so thick you could feel people's heartbeats. Tyler tries to kill the feed. Isabel blocks every move from economy. Red prompt on his screen. Access revoked. Kristen, desperate, throws my briefcase in my lap, calls me suspicious. I calmly place in my feet. I suggest you step away. Diane, rattled, hisses, we're being held hostage by theatrics. The screen above says otherwise high-def video of the whole saga, overlaid with Isabel's voice. Targeted profiling, federal anti-discrimination violations confirmed. Kristen tries to save face, grabs the intercom, but the projector overrides. Isabel's voice returns. This is a shareholder action. The flight won't depart until protocol's complete. The cabin had become a courtroom. Passengers stunned, some in tears, some filming, some just watching. Kristen, or Tyler, in a last gasp, tries to kill the power. All screens go dark for a few seconds. Then the backup kicks in. I hold up a device. Nice try. I own the infrastructure, too. The moment I stood, I wasn't angry, I was done. This flight is grounded not by weather or maintenance, but by the weight of unchecked bias. And I'm grounding the company that allowed it. I pressed a button. Fleet shut down. 3:16 p.m. That image would play on the news for years. The captain receives the order flight 227 canceled by stakeholder authority. Passengers stare at the overhead screen now, displaying my 51% stake in Apex Air. A whisper, he owns it. Kristen steps back, authority gone, bumping into the galley card. Tyler's tablet, wiped clean, drops to the floor. Diane pulls her scarf up, wishing she could disappear. I never had a shout. My presence, my proof, did it for me. Then Isabel's logs scroll on screen flight after flight, each one a documented abuse. Kristen's name in bold on 3. Michael Brennan, cabin manager, begs to move this private. We're already handling it. I say, this is the board meeting you never thought would reach this cabin. 3 reports, 3 ignored. That ends now. Next screen, live shareholder vote. Terminate Kristen Walsh, Tyler Quinn, and Diane Heller. Votes roll in, green checks light up. Isabel's voice. Terminations effective immediately. Security will meet involved parties upon disembarkation. Passengers clap not wild, but slow and solid, like a verdict. Final blow training video plays. Kristen, in a staff meeting, saying some people aren't fit for first class. Laughter, Tyler's voice, then black. Evan activates full fleet hold. Within minutes, monitors nationwide read. Apex Air operational hold. Julian Carter didn't just interrupt a flight, interrupted an industry. As I looked out the window, Miami rain streaking the glass, I turned to Kristen. You used a uniform to hide entitlement. I used silence to deliver truth. We're not the same. Noah, still filming, sums it up. He never raised his voice, but he just brought down an airline. Respect rippled through the cabin, humble and permanent. After the shutdown, headlines blared, hashtags surged, passengers whispered. He changed everything. Kristen, Tyler, and Diane left that plane stripped of every ounce of untouchable privilege. Their names forever marked as lessons. I stepped off, not in anger, but in vision-launched Air Vigil, an AI watchdog for bias, open source, already flooding with uploads. Noah and Isabel took lead on reform. Apex couldn't bury bias anymore. 6 months later, we rolled out Flight Truth, real-time anonymous reporting so nobody ever had to sit silent again. Asked what I hoped to gain, I answered, nothing. I already had everything I needed. This is what I hope to leave behind. So if you've ever been made to feel you didn't belong, if you saw injustice and thought someone should do something, maybe that someone's you. Tell your story. Share it below. Because the more we speak up, the higher we fly.